Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you for joining us at Jackrabbit Illustrated tonight. We would like to mention that the following program contains the possibility of bad language, inappropriate comments, and hosts with the propensity to wander off topic. Those of us at Jackrabbit Illustrated would like to thank you for joining us and would like to thank our title sponsor, Kubota Dealers of South Dakota. With 9 dealerships across the great state of South Dakota, with all the equipment you may need for your home, acreage, or farming operation, there's always a Kubota dealer ready to provide you with the parts, service, and sales you need. Now, with that out of the way, let's get to what you came for.
Scared money don't make money, right?
That's right, folks. Scared money don't make money. The spin-off show from the B Team with Ben and Brendan making their picks against the spread just like old times, with the addition of Alex Kenkel and his computer model that is featured weekly on JackrabbitIllustrated.com. As usual, the B Team and all Jackrabbit Illustrated podcasts are live on the Jackrabbit Illustrated Facebook and Twitter pages, along with being live on the FCS Fans Nation YouTube channel. Also, if you don't catch us live, be sure to tune in on Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, or any major podcast outlet in between.
Scared Money Don't Make Money is thrilled to have their show sponsor be Cubby Sports Bar and Grill in downtown Brookings. With the best beer and food in town and more TVs than wall space, Cubby Sports Bar and Grill is your Jackrabbit headquarters to watch any game, home or away. The B Team is also thrilled to announce their segment sponsor, Blue Tide Car Wash of Brookings, Mitchell, Sioux Falls, and now Hartford, as well as all the other get-and-go locations in South Dakota.
Our second segment sponsor is Hadrick Ranch. For the best beef you've ever tasted, go to hadrickranch.com. They'll ship it to you. And lastly, thank you to our segment sponsor, Innovative Engineering Solutions. Contact them for all your HVAC, plumbing, fire protection, automated control systems, and energy conservation needs. I'm Batman. Or Dracula. Or both. I'm Bat Dracula Man.
What is up, everybody? Thanks for joining us.
FCS Fans Nation. I always wanted to do that, but I already cracked my beer. I forgot I was going to do that.
You had your moment, and then it was gone. Oh, devastating. I'm torn tonight because obviously it's me and Alex. Ben is off doing some tomfoolery and whatnot. He's a busy man. So I was part of me wants to just go as long as we want, but then there's the other part of me.
It would be funny to have a 30-minute show.
In 30 minutes when Ben's not here. I think that would drive him crazier than by far. That would annoy the hell out of him if we were done in 30 minutes, 25-minute show would be hilarious. But we're not about that life. We'll go probably just do whatever we do normally. But as always, we got to thank our sponsors, title sponsor Kubota Dealers of South Dakota, and our show sponsor Cubby Sports Bar and Grill, which I accidentally credited last night to the B Team. Erroneous. They got some bonus stuff going on for him there, I guess. So Cubby Sports Bar and Grill, everybody's favorite sports bar in South Dakota. The number one place to go for all your Jack's entertainment. So this weekend you're wanting to watch the game, don't have a place to go, don't have friends coming over, whatnot, get down to Cubby's, enjoy some brews, burgers, and beers, and head on down there and have a good time. And one shout out for someone who we're not sponsored by, but it is a Jackrabbit player who just opened it up down in Sioux Falls. I just had Fat Shacks tonight. Holy crap.
Jim Poppin was telling me about it at Tailgate.
So good.
Was it good?
So good. Oh my God. Best drunk food ever. Like if I get tuned up at home during the game this weekend.
You're going to DoorDash it?
Well, DoorDash, I don't think he'll do it because we live out of town away. So I might get myself a lift to downtown Sioux Falls, get it, and lift back home. It was pretty spectacular. So just a quick shout out for them. There's a freebie. So, but anyways, how you been? You're the only one who hasn't been on screen yet this week. So how was your weekend?
It was good. As anyone that caught us at tailgating knows, my brother and sister joined us, and I do in fact have a sister, as Matt discovered.
I was as surprised as he was. I just didn't, say it like that.
I had to give Matt some grief in the group chat because I was like, "Who in the heck?" Was saying to my sister's face, "Oh, I didn't know you had a sister. You just talk to his brother all the time." Backed me under the bus a little bit, which she's used to that. She's good natured about it. Kind of comes with being the only girl. But no, that was good. So they got spend some time with our kids, and they live in Chicago. That we got to do that all the time, and just enjoyed their company. And then my computer completely took a dump. As I think I put out a tweet or said on the show, maybe both. That's why there was no by the numbers last week. So I finally got everything scraped, but I'm on the wife's computer. So I will try to finish that up tonight, since for whatever reason the Podfather has not been putting out what to watch for on Fridays. I might use that privilege to take an extra day to finish that up and put that out Friday morning, and then watch. This will be the week Matt wants to bring back what to watch for.
Right.
But anyhow, long story to say, it's been a good week.
Hey, but your computer situation is getting rectified due to a good friend of ours, so that's a win. Yeah, no, tell you it was a blast. It was great to meet your brother and sister. They're good people, all the way from a ways away in Illinois. So good on them for making the trip. Suppose we should go over the games from last week and our scores. You just jump in with any analysis you have.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Ben is still at 26-18-0. He's gone, so we could probably creatively edit that to make that work better for us. The model is
just trust us.
Yeah, we're trustworthy, right? Yeah. Chad's right. They are fibs. Yep. Yeah. Effing Illinois brothers is what we call them in Wisconsin. Yeah, the model is tied with Ben, or Ben is tied with the model. We should probably say, since the model outside of last year has been renowned for being really good. So they're both at 26-18, a 59.1% win percentage, which is pretty great. You are in third place with 22-22, batting 50%, batting 500. That's pretty good.
I did steal that game on you last week, then.
Yeah, I got robbed. We've had like 2 this year on our picks, and they've both screwed me. I went 0 for 3, I'm pretty sure, when I pull this up. I'm 21-23. I got some work to do.
Oh, you did go 0 for 3 because I went 2-1.
Yeah. Well, according to this, you went 1-2.
Oh, no, that sounds right, because I had USD.
The model went.
Yes,
Yeah.
the ones I lost.
We all picked USD and Mercyhurst, and that did not go our way. Obviously, everybody knows the scores of those games, but just to recap, USD got pummeled by NDSU 51-13. They had an offensive tackle get a 0 grade on PFF.
Who was the Missouri Valley lineman of the week before?
That's amazing. I bet he's not this week, huh?
Probably not. That was yeah, I don't know what to make of that. I guess we'll find out soon. Is NDSU that dominant? Is USD that bad? I think it's both. Spoiler alert for if I do get by the numbers, because I didn't have access to the model. I kind of worked on some other stuff, and yeah, Seth Meyer says 51-13 sounds closer than it actually was, and it was.
Facts.
People really like the series conversion rate stuff I put out for the Jacks after week 2, so I actually did that for the whole conference. And spoiler alert, USD is like on par with like Indiana State and Murray State right now. Granted, the strength of schedule and playing Iowa State and NDSU does not help, but that's, yeah, UNI is actually looking like, I don't want to say head and shoulders, but like a couple inches to use the height comparison better than they are right now, which is just wild to say compared to both teams' preseason expectations.
I bet their strength of schedule is comparable to Indiana State. They played at Montana, and they played who? Indiana.
Yeah.
I mean, can't be that not comparable to.
No, and they're getting similar results. And Indiana State had their starting quarterback for 2 of those games, who we know is a stud.
Yeah, that's crazy. Do we know when he's coming back at all?
It's probably going to be towards the end of the year, if at all.
Damn.
I don't know. I'm kind of bummed because he's an exciting player to watch, and I was shocked in a pleasant way, because obviously we've had our fair share of that. I was shocked he was back at Indiana State this year, if not playing for a higher level. FCS program, if not a G5 school. I was really, really shocked he came back. And I was, like I said, I was happy he was. So
Right.
I guess we'll see what happens this year then.
Yeah, well, so I bet he's back next year then. After
Right.
that, I hopefully. The other game was Montana and Idaho.
And that was, Idaho was never out of it, but it also never felt close. I watched most of it till my brother and I both kind of simultaneously fell asleep on the couch at about the third quarter. But
that's why I think that backdoor cover of all of them felt the dirtiest, because that really was a 14 plus game, like the whole point,
the whole way.
The whole way felt good. And then like they scored that last touchdown and it felt so out of reach from Idaho. Like Montana was dominating so strongly that game that Idaho scored that last touchdown, because I was on with Borg while it happened. It didn't even register that could ruin my cover for like a while, until somebody mentioned in the chat that it was 11. And I'm like, no way that just happened. And sure enough, I have unfortunate bad beat stuff happen. Oh, you know what we didn't ask Ben for? And that segment, by the way, was brought to you by our wonderful sponsor. Since we're usually really bad at doing the actual segment sponsors, our wonderful sponsor, Blue Tide Car Wash. The recap.
Yeah.
By Blue Tide Car Wash, with locations all over the southeast part of the state, locations in Sioux Falls, Brookings, Hartford, and Mitchell. They are all over the place. All the get and goes in Sioux Falls have them. Get yourself a monthly car wash. Get that car nice and shiny and squeaky clean. The only reason I don't wash my car almost daily is my tonneau cover on my truck's not leak proof, and if I forget something in there, it's going to get wet. And if you have a tonneau cover, a lot of times it's stuff that you don't necessarily want that wet. So that's the only reason I don't wash it more.
Owner Rick Jensen's a good dude. Rick, if you're listening, I know you live nearby. My wife was asking what we had to do to get some tokens, and I said, I probably just need to talk to Rick. So
we'll hook him up with a calendar for you as payment for you.
Yeah, get it. Well, they're featured in it, so
that's true. They can hang it up on location. I'm sure that's the type of publicity they want.
Right.
That's what they want to hang it up. That's for sure. Yeah. So what's the over under on Mark playing versus the Badgers? I don't know. I haven't heard the extent of his injury yet.
It sounded like folks in Iowa City were optimistic last I had looked, but I'm not plugged into that as Ben is. Ben would have a good feel on that. So
right. I really hope he's okay. Really hope he's healthy. Obviously, we're all big Mark fans here. With that, and he was playing really well. So hopefully that works out for him. What are we gonna do? We don't have a JIAI because Ben didn't send us any of those, did he?
No, but who's our segment sponsor for JIAI? Let's shout him out anyhow.
That would be Hadrick's beef, Hadrick's Ranch beef. The ones who hooked us up with the prizes for our big beef brisket showdown we did, Hadrick's beef. I mean, I'm telling you, people, the brisket that I was able to cook with was so unfair to Alex from the jump. It had marbling all the way through like a steak, which is crazy.
I had no shot.
Yeah,
none.
That was like starting on third while Alex is up against Randy Johnson. It wasn't fair with just the beef I had. Used it to my advantage though, so I got a free brisket out of Alex for it and hooked myself up with some dino ribs and some Korean short ribs. And Troy said I'm getting a swag pack too, so I'm excited to see that when that happens. So yeah, so I'm pumped. As long as it's not like a bunch of memorabilia with your model shoot on it, I'll be okay.
I don't think Troy would do that, but that would be funny.
It would be super funny. If it's like five of your calendars, that would be. I just laugh my ass off. That'd be hysterical. But no, Hadrick's Ranch. They'll hook you up. No charge on the shipping. They really make their packages simple, so you know exactly what you're getting when you do order your beef from them. If you've ever been confused or nervous about buying a whole or quarter cow, it really simplifies it. So in essence, you are, but it's just listed by your cuts and weights and everything. Takes a lot of the uncertainty between that. So there he is. So yeah, Ben is at the Sleep Token concert, and he apparently sees Matt Frazee
about it for 2 weeks, and even though he just went to see him, but
right. No, he loves him. And you know what's funny? What's funny is we're talking about Ben at Sleep Token, and then you tried to do the Matt Frazee intro,
right.
and you see Matt Frazee there. Matt Frazee, whose son made it onto SportsCenter Top 10, which is awesome. That's on Twitter if you want to see that, and I think it's on the FCS Fans Nation Facebook page as well. The Podfather checked out SportsCenter just to see, and sure enough, he made it, which is awesome. So, no, super cool. But I suppose we've got a fair amount of games this week, so we can take our time and really dive into some of these a little deeper.
8 of them.
Yep, we got 8 of them. We've got 3 out of conference matchups. To add a little spice to this, now that we're into the conference season, and the just 5 conference games can leave us a little short and wanting, and we always like to shine a little light on the rest of the subdivision. And this part of the show is brought to you by Innovative Engineering, and I'll let you talk about that since you're the proper office engineer anyways.
I was not prepared, but got to meet the guys from Innovative Engineering at Tailgating this week, as all our sponsors are. Super cool guys, super down to earth. It was awesome to talk some ball with them.
Yep.
They do primarily HVAC. He said, every week Ben says they do fire suppression. He says we don't, but I can subcontract it for it. So you should still reach out to those guys for that. But, residential, commercial, HVAC, plumbing, all those sorts of things. You're building a new house, building a new outbuilding on your farm, whatever it is, give those guys a call if you're in the Sioux Falls vicinity, and they'll work with you. They'll do you right.
Beauty. Hell yeah. So thank you to Innovative Engineering for being a new sponsor with us this year. To kick things off, we've got we'll start in the order Ben put them on here. So we're starting out of conference first. Hopefully all you folks out there have been keeping up with the Southland Sermon and the Rev when he's able to get time to do that. But we've got Stephen F. Austin. We included them. They're 26th technically in receiving votes in the Redshirt Sports poll. And then we've got Incarnate Word, who, God, I don't remember. Oh, I got it right here. Incarnate Word is ranked 21st in the poll. It's going to be a pretty pivotal game for the Southland Conference and the outlook. As of right now, the spread is Incarnate Word favored by 0.5 point.
So basically a pick 'em. Interesting.
Yes.
The model has the Word by 5.6, so it's going to take the Word as well.
Really?
And you want to go first since you're behind?
No.
Or no, I guess that means
you
I should
go ahead.
Sorry, I bug bite. I think I'll agree. Much apologies to our good friend Dustin Helton. I don't think Stephen F. Austin has played up to their potential yet, and at this point, it's week 6. At what point are we going to see that? And I think Colson, brought in to replace Torres for Incarnate Word, and that's really unlocked a lot of their offense, and they've looked like a totally different team. So if we're going pretty much straight pick them, I'm definitely going to take the Word in San Antonio.
Yeah, I'm a big Jacks guy for Stephen F. Austin. I wish I really want them to win this game. Just Incarnate Word has looked like such a different team. And yeah, it's been a couple of weeks since then, and Stephen F. Austin really felt like they let one get away from them against Abilene Christian when they lost to them at home.
2-3 weeks ago now.
Yeah, 2-3 weeks ago now. Incarnate Word, just like you said, they look like a completely different team. The way they handled Abilene Christian was impressive. They looked like the team that everybody said they would be, or thought they were going to be. So I think I'm going to have to go with the word as well. So give me the word by, the definition of a pick'em.
Yeah.
So, I'm going to go ahead and take the word on that one. The next matchup is the surprise up-and-comer West Georgia at Austin P. P is only favored by 4 points. The interesting factoid that was brought up about West Georgia, I brought it up in late night with the board, but I didn't realize how impressive their start really was. How it's been since NDSU and SDSU moved up that you saw a Division II move up have success like this. And it does shadow it a little bit where they're in not one of the power conferences, but they're on a hot start. They competed really well last year. And West Georgia's athletic director put out last week or right after that. He put out that they're the first team. They're the only team besides NDSU to go 5-0 against FCS competition. So no matter how this game goes, really impressive stuff. Great. That's great sign for the health of the subdivision with their success and UTRGV and everybody coming up. So that is exciting for the future. If you're one of the ones, really just banging the table about how watered down the subdivision is, that is a huge plus going forwards. But just really quick, Brian Williams says the over-under on hate DMs from USD fans this past week, probably for his little comment on their proposed renovations.
I missed that. I'll have to go back and catch that.
He said, all those renovations and money just to lose to Lamar. It was essentially what he said. I'm going to put the over under at 3 because there's only a couple USD fans, but I'd probably bet the over. I'm betting they get up to 5, but that one. But this game, West Georgia, Austin P favored by 4. Take it away, Mr. Alex.
Favored by 4.
Mm-hmm.
Model says Govs by 8.5. So it will take the Govs to cover. I don't know. That Austin P defense, I stood here 2 weeks ago and talked about how good they were. It's like I jinxed them ever since. I didn't think they played terrible against Abilene Christian. I think part of it was their offense didn't help them out with a lot of 3-and-outs, but they still gave up 40 points. I'm totally forgetting the score of that game last week. They won, but they still gave up some points there. And West Georgia's been stout. I'm going to go West Georgia here. Call me crazy, but I think West Georgia pulls off the minor upset, and we're looking at a top 15. Do they even get to the edge of the top 10 in next week's rankings?
I mean, if they pull the upset and you took West Georgia in this one?
Yeah.
I
took West Georgia.
Okay. Last week they won 42-10 against Utah Tech. They did give up a ton of points to Abilene Christian.
Did they? I thought it was more than that.
No, they only gave up 10 to Utah Tech per their schedule. But yeah, it's Utah Tech. It's not super impressive this year. Personally, I think West Georgia is going to run out of gas a little bit here. I think it's going to be a tight game, but I think P is going to win since it's at home. If this was at West Georgia, I'd really be tempted to take West Georgia. The money line, Brian going big. He's straight calling the upset. I'm going to go ahead and take P to cover at home with the model just because it is a home game, and I think West Georgia is going to kind of run out of gas a little bit. Is just my guess. So go ahead and give me P to cover. Are you marking down what your picks are, by the way?
No, was I supposed to?
It'll be better if you did. Okay. We can go back and listen too. That's fine.
Well, I can pull the spreadsheet open quicker too. That's no big deal.
Okay, I got the spreadsheet open, but it's not letting me edit it. It's probably because I'm not in spreadsheets or whatever. I don't have it on my computer. As long as this doesn't shut down your computer in the model, anyway.
No, we should be fine. I'm on So we can get off topic on that again. I tried to go off my backup computer last week, and you guys joked about my Windows 98 computer or whatever, but it was still on Windows 6 or 7, and it was that bad. It's like,
Jeez.
I can't do this. Not
Good
happening.
God, man.
All right.
Oops, I just slurped like a maniac into the mic. Anyways. So, you remember what you picked in those games? Or you want the lines again?
No, I got it right here. It's not letting me edit either. Why does Ben have this locked?
Probably because he doesn't trust us, and maybe we just made a comment about editing things to make it so he looks worse. So,
well, I remember I went in there
unfounded.
I remember I went in there.
Yes, you screwed it up last year.
Screwed something up, so that's probably why.
That's why you locked it, because you screwed it up last year. That's right. Yeah, you went and just typed in like wins or something, and he's got a formula set up, so you goobered up the whole works.
He had an equation set up somewhere, and I just put the straight values in instead of typing in the variables, and that made Benjamin very angry.
Yeah, he was all poopy shoes about it for a little bit, which was hilarious.
Which, to be fair, that would upset me as well. So that's turnabout is fair play.
Yeah, I can't blame him on that one. The spreadsheet's kind of his baby, so that's fair. So we'll just keep track of them as we go, and I guess it's honor system, or we'll have to go back and listen, or Ben will go back and listen and fill out the spreadsheet. I got
the back of an envelope and a pen. I'll write mine down as I go here. The model will have record in the model of what it picked.
Well, it's probably for the best, because I've caught him having the wrong thing down before, so we just cover all our bases and make sure there's a full circle of trust in this one. So the last out of conference game is Montana State at Northern Arizona. Montana State is favored by 7.5 points. Oh, and just for all posterity's sake, last two games, Ben has given us his picks. The Stephen F. Austin Incarnate Word game, Ben picked Incarnate Word to cover the 0.5 point. And he picked Austin P to cover against West Georgia and cover the 4. So now we got Montana State at Northern Arizona. Montana State's favored by 7.5 points, way up in the clouds in the Sky Dome.
Model says Montana State by 8, and it will take them to cover. I think so too. I think this is probably the best defense Northern Arizona's played so far. Mm-hmm. I think that as much as I'm a Ty Pennington guy, which Ty Pennington, not the kid, correct, from last week, not the kid that was going to SDSU, that was Chad Pennington's son. Joe DeLeon pointed that out on their show. He's Ty, not Chad's son, Pennington. There's another Pennington that was there that is Chad's son. Anyhow, I like Ty Pennington, all that to say. I think he's a good quarterback, but I think he's going to have some fits. I think Lamson and Dowler and Adam Jones will do just enough here to score, and I could see this being more than a 2-score game pretty easily. And I don't think that's anything against Northern Arizona either. I think they're fairly ranked right now. If it is a 14, 17-ish game, I think I might keep them where they're at in my poll. I think I've got them about 12, 13. So,
yeah, I'm with you on that. Brian saying 17 points. Brian Williams saying 17 points versus Mercier.
It is.
While it is, on the same token, I look at that a little bit the way I look at like looking too deep into our game against Drake. You got a team like Montana State that is clearly a better team than their opponent in Mercyhurst. I tend to count that as a bit of a mirage until I see more evidence to the contrary on that.
Yeah. If Lamson comes out and he struggles again this week and they can't get the run going, then there's issues. But
right, then there's deep issues, and boy, I'd be scared of the Brawl of the Wild. But Montana State, as it sits right now, with the goals that program has, just like us, they only allowed 10 points, but if you score your 17 you did against Mercer run, then you win by 7, which is not covering. Anyways, overall, like I'm not disappointed in Northern Arizona. I'm not impressed with them either. I'm with you. They're pretty fairly ranked right now. Montana State, for the record and for all posterity, is the number 5 team in the Redshirt sports.com poll, and
That's where they were in my
Northern
ballot.
Arizona is 14. So 5 versus 14. I'm going to go ahead and take Montana State to cover, though. That's the safe play in my book. And I'm not to the point where I need to get crazy. I think if I start getting crazy with picks, trying to call upsets all the time, that's how you really bury yourself and ensure you're in trouble. And I'm not going to do that. I'm going to try to make the smart plays the whole time. So,
And we got, including this week, there's 8 weeks plus 4 weeks of playoffs left. Granted, those playoff weeks don't have a ton of games at the end, but you don't got to get wild just yet.
Yeah, including this week. I mean, well, you know what's crazy? This is week 6. Next week, week 7, we're halfway through the regular season.
Yeah, which just feels like
Crazy.
it's gone so fast, as always.
Yeah.
But
Absolutely nutty stuff. And it's still hot. Like, I feel like I've been robbed of my football season because of how hot it is. But
right,
it's just weird.
my wife wants the frost to kill the little black devil bugs so bad.
Yes, please, God, Brian. I thought this was scared money don't make money. You're right. I'm trying to tread water right now, Brian, because we haven't settled on what the. I'm in the hole. I'm not real deep in the hole. I don't need to get crazy yet. Don't worry. There's a lot of points to be eaten on the way down this list now once we get to the rest of this. Starting with the First Valley game, and I'm sure this is one we'll talk about a little bit extensively here, leading off with Murray State at USD for D-Days. USD is favored by, holy shit, 20 points. That is absurd amount of points.
So the model is going to have the Trash Puppies by 25.7. And
really?
Yep. And that is that's a lot. 20 is such a gross line in this game. Dakota Mayhem and I were talking about this on the phone earlier today. And it is such a gross game to pick because, like, you look at what USD did against Drake, and you think, okay, they still have the high end talent to where they should cover that. But they've been so listless, and Murray has looked better. I mean, really, like we've talked about it a couple times now. It's got to be tough to gauge improvement when you're still losing games, but they have looked better this year. So I guess give me Murray State. The only thing that gives me pause for concern is they're going to be a run first team with Juwan Northington. I think Jim Ogle, if I'm saying that correct, their quarterback, he's a redshirt sophomore. He's played okay. Yeah, Jim Ogle. He which is an old man name, and he is a redshirt freshman. He's thrown for a lot of yards. He's turned the ball over a couple times, but he's played well, and USD's secondary's been bad. It's both tackling and covering. So I think he does enough to keep it close. I hate this because I totally see USD winning by like 17-24, and that 20 is just gross.
So here's the thing I just looked up because I talked about it last week with USD. If you can stop the run, Alex Bowman has been very pedestrian to bad.
Alex Bowman, the NASCAR driver?
Or yeah, Aiden Bowman, whatever. My bad. I'm talking to Alex. I said Bowman, whatever. Aiden Bowman is bad. If they can have a run game that he can play off of, then Aiden Bowman has been still pretty good. That's what they did to Drake, right? Where do you think Murray State ranks in rush defense?
Probably not very good.
If you had to guess. There's 126 teams listed.
Right, 105.
126th.
Oh, gosh.
They are giving up 200. And Where's my man Michael Betts? Because we need to talk, man. What the is this? 285.2 yards per game surrendered. How are they?
I won't
Even
be that guy.
close
But is
in
it too late to
anything.
change my vote? Whatever the LJ Phillips rushing yardage over is, hit that. I mean, my gosh.
Big time. Now, to balance that, LJ Phillips rushed for 300 yards against Northern Colorado, and they scored 17 points.
Also true.
And the other thing to balance, if you listen to Coach Johansson in his interviews this week, boy, it sounds like he's doing a lot of damage control. And, on the one hand,
when you got to come out and say the culture's fine, what's that usually say about the culture?
right, we got problems, is what that smells like to me. And, you had to bring in a bunch of transfers. You just got absolutely shown that you are not even
Close
within screaming distance of the national title. You're just not. You got real problems. Now you combine that with potential culture issue problems. No, I don't think, and I haven't listened to the whole interview.
No, I just saw that clip from Gaskin.
It's one thing if Gaskins came up and said, "Hey, how's the culture? How's the locker room doing? Everything." But if that's brought up unbidden, usually that means it's not good. So if anybody brought that up, that was interesting. And Seth says, what's up with USD doing the post game stuff in Fargo only if they won. Interestingly enough, talking with Zim at media days, that's more common than you think.
So that's kind of the status quo anymore, unfortunately. Yeah. Although I will add, what Zim said was that it's typical they don't do it at all.
Right, they don't do it at all. To come out and say we'll do it if we win, that's a different ball of wax.
And I won't reveal where I heard this, and you can read into it what you will. But they have a new operations manager for the football program. And it sounds like this is maybe his prerogative. I saw some people, including some USD fans, trying to pawn it off on Johansson and like, oh, that's terrible. It's like, well, I don't know that it was necessarily his choice from some of the stuff I'm hearing. It sounds like it might be their operations guy, but anyhow.
Yeah. Either way, but it could be him telling him. Who knows? We don't know the insides and outs of that. It's just a bad look when you come out and do it that way. And you
didn't think that was going to come out if you lost. That was the other part,
right? Like that's crazy. My thing with this game that makes it difficult for me is D-Days is their hobo days, right? There's a lot of distractions going on. You had to bring in a fair amount of transfers who just got shown that everything they signed up for isn't there.
It's gone.
And you're stuck in Vermilion on top of it. You've got the biggest party of the year happening down there. It is real easy for them to lose focus and not be locked in if they are not bought in anymore on this season. And so there's a real potential that they're not locked in for this game. Plus, you've got a crap opponent coming in on top of it, right?
And there's going to be specials at the Char Bar all week.
Yeah, and if they're not locked in on, if they're not locked in all week on, we're going to go out and prove to people that wasn't us last week, and they're more, it's Murray State. We'll show up and win. They look like crap on film. Nobody's really had a close game with them, yada, yada. That could be a real trip up. On the other hand, we've got what we talked about. Murray State gives up 285 rushing yards per game. And if USD comes out with their hair on fire to try to prove a point, they should beat them by 40 damn points.
Right.
So I hate picking this game. Part of me wants to say at first, my my gut was like, this is a spicy meatball. This just smells like trap all over it. Like they're emotionally down. They've got distractions all over the place with the B&D day. But on the other hand, they're hearing from everybody about how bad they are. So are they going to be fired up or are they wilting because they just got shown what they aren't? Basically, I'm stalling a little bit here because I hate this line. And I'm going to go and be gutsy, and I'm going to say Murray State. Ben picked USD in this game. I'm going to lean towards the side of what my head and my gut tells me about this. Like, USD will win, but boy, I think they're
It
going
might
to
look bad.
I think they might still look bad. I think that's a bad team. I talked to, it wasn't just Dom Izzo saying that was a small team. Matt Frazee talking to us during the game was like, dude, these guys are tiny.
His exact words, and he may even said it on the Sunday show, is he said, their D ends look like your guys' safeties.
Right. Yep. And I get it. USD's a lot better at home and they're better on D days, but this just feels like a problem. I had another friend of mine who was an NDSU fan who I was texting, about the game as it was going on. And he's like, these guys don't look any different than physically he meant. They look just like the other teams we've played. And if you know the other teams they've played, not a single one of them would I look at except for the Citadel. I think the Citadel would come in and be better than Murray State and Indiana State and whatever, but Tennessee State shouldn't be. SEMO maybe.
But they're down this year.
Yeah, honestly, right now with their performances, I'd say SEMO's better than USD. So yeah, I'm gonna pick. I'm gonna say it's a shootout, and Murray State puts up points, and that could cause problems for USD. I don't think USD loses. If they do, season over, buddy.
Yeah.
Every time I've ever picked Murray State, I think to cover, they've burned me. So,
it's a surefire that the Yotes are going to win by 30 now.
Yeah, it's pretty much locked that the Yotes are going to win by 40, and they're going to do exactly what they did with Drake, and all their fans and podcasters are going to go, see, you're all idiots. This is a top 25 team. Look what we did to Murray State. And everyone's going to go, oh, shut up. But anyways, on to the next game, because we spent a lot of time on that. UND at UNI. UND is favored by 18 points.
So the model only has UND by 8.7. So it's going to take UNI to cover, and this might be my spicy meatball, Brendan, because once again, as I was going through some of the advanced series conversion rate numbers and some of that stuff, so UND so far this season, which if you watch some of their games, I kind of stopped and thought about it, and it wasn't completely shocking. UND's had a really good defense, but their offense has been, and don't get me wrong, I think Kaminsky's playing well. I think they have some nice pieces, but their offense has been average to above average. And UNI actually hasn't been horrible. I mean, I wouldn't say they've been good, but they haven't been terrible. So all this to say, I think their defense keeps them off the board, but I don't know that UND scores enough to cover that. I might be talking myself into taking UNI here too.
Is that what you're thinking?
Yes, that's what I'm going with.
Okay. So
Got
you're going
Seth
to say
and Brian Williams agreeing with me, and Brian Williams
UNI covers the 18. UNI's offense has been –
he knows.
UNI's offense has been bad. It's been bad. Against teams with scholarships, they have scored 7, 17, and 9 points. 9 points was Utah Tech.
They look so
They
bad.
only put up 17 on Eastern Washington, who is not exactly the calling card of a high-end
offense.
defense.
Yeah, it's not a high-end offense for only putting up 17 on the
Here's the scores that every other team that Eastern Washington has played have put up. 31, 51, 17 Northern Iowa, 31 to Western Illinois. Western Illinois put up 31 points on them, and then 57 to Montana State. And this is leading up to my point here. UND's offense has not done a lot against good teams. Montana, they did put up 35 against Kansas State, and while I don't think Kansas State is a good FBS, that's an FBS.
Very good anymore though.
No, it doesn't look great. But it's still an FBS school. They put up 50 on Portland State. Is Portland State good? No. Is UNI better in Portland State? Sure.
Probably.
And then they put up 58 on Valparaiso. Is Valparaiso good? No. Were both those games at home? Sure. But their lowest scoring game so far is 23 points. I don't think UNI's – I agree with you. UND has a good defense. I don't think UNI is going to – I think UNI is really going to struggle the ball to score – to the ball. That's a word. That's the way to describe it.
I agree with you there. I don't think UNI is going to move the ball very well at all in this game. My pick is more about UND's offense, but continue.
And despite what your advanced analytics say, and I'm not disagreeing with them, they've still put up a lot of points all year. They're not putting up 17 or anything like that. They did put up 23 at Montana. So I do believe in this UND team. I think their new coach has them rolling. They've had a bye week to prepare for UNI. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take the Hawks to cover in this one. I think they're going to hold UNI to 3. And I think they're definitely good for at least 24 points in this game. So I'm going to go ahead and take UND to cover.
Split two ways. Ben took UND.
Yep, Ben also took UND. So the model took UNI as well, right?
Yes.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy, oh, boy. So, anyways, rolling on to the next game. We got Indiana State at Southern Illinois. Southern Illinois is favored by 20. Only 20. Really? At home. Okay, go ahead.
Model says dogs, as Stone Labanowitz would say, by 23. So it's going to take them to cover, and I'll agree. I think if we weren't talking about DJ Williams for Walter Payton before this week, we will for sure after he has 400 all-purpose yards and 5 total touchdowns. And I think it's crazy to say with a spread that big, but I think that's free money.
That's a spicy meatball. You can smell it in the air, baby. You can smell the spicy meatball. 20 points, and like you said, that's a lot. But unless they pull DJ Williams at half,
right?
Ain't no way. I really, really believe a lot in the Southern Illinois team. They haven't proven it, but I don't think they're that much worse than Montana. And we saw what Montana did to Indy State. And granted, that's a much more intimidating atmosphere, whatever. But I think Southern Illinois is going to do whatever the hell they want. And 20 points is a freebie in my book.
Their offense is playing elite ball right now. Their defense is playing so-so, but does that matter against an Indiana State team that's not going to have Elijah Owens? I don't think it does.
Right. That you now have a full game of film on.
Right.
Like you saw Indy State got away with some things and scored early a couple times on Montana, and then they realized what they were doing, and they went, and that was done. That was it for the rest of the game. Southern Illinois gets a whole week of game film on that and a bye going into this game, unless they are looking ahead and get caught in the trap game.
Who do they have next week?
You've heard of them. They're the next game we're picking. They're north of us a ways.
Oh, is that next week already?
It's NDSU next week. Yes, sir. So there is potential that's a trap game, but I'm going with a spicy meatball pick on this one, boys. Give me Southern Illinois to cover by whatever the hell they want to, and 20 is not going to be enough. So
yeah. Benjamin took
Southern Illinois as well.
Yep.
So it's a clean sweep across the board taking Southern Illinois there, which makes me feel better about it. So I feel better calling that a spicy meatball now. Now we've got NDSU at Illinois State. NDSU is favored by 20.
Sorry, I was looking at the wrong line. Model says Bison by 18.5, so it will take the Redbirds to cover. And I know I've been a pretty big fan prognosticator of Illinois State, but going through some of these advanced metrics this week, I think I'm getting off the bandwagon. The offense has just been okay, and we've been waiting to see something out of the defense, and we haven't seen it. And I'll qualify this by saying I do think Illinois State is better than USD, and I think when that game happens in 3-4 weeks, whenever it is, they should and will be favored. But I will not be shocked if this game follows the same script as last week for the Bison. They are that dominant right now. Their serious conversion rate on offense is 89%. That means when there's a first down, there's an 89% they are going to score or make another first down. Their defensive serious conversion rate is 51%. That means there is a coin flip. You are going 3 and out on offense.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Which, by the way, we're 58, so we're not much off that mark. But anyhow,
right. That's nutty numbers, and I'm with you. I still have Illinois State in my poll pretty high. But
I think I moved them down to like 11 this week, but I think that still might be too high.
Yeah, I could not believe less in a team ranked as highly as Illinois State is. Illinois State's 7. I think that's a sham and a mockery is a shamockery that they're that high, and I'm part of the problem with having them there. It's just been hard to have a reason besides, well, they just haven't looked that good to move them down, and I hate being an eye test guy. That drives me nuts. I get it. It works in circumstances, but I'm not feeling it. Now, Brocksback does have an awesome stash. Jim Poppin says Brocksback has an awesome stash, but that won't stop the NDSU offense from scoring. That's a fact. Their defense hasn't looked very good. Their offense has not looked nearly as good as they were advertised before the season. And NDSU wins by 3 scores, in my opinion. So give me NDSU. Now, Brocksback has in the past been able to hold down NDSU, but that's when they were really run heavy. And Cole Payton this year, they're a little – not saying they don't run the ball, but they're more Cole Payton and that wide receivers being the bigger threat than the run game at this moment besides Cole Payton's legs, which I almost put like in a third separate category in my mind. So, yeah, give me NDSU to cover this all day. It won't quite look like the USD game, but I absolutely could see like 43 to 17 or something out of this game.
It's 28-3 at halftime, and they let off the gas a little bit in the second half, sort of thing.
Right. Yeah, and I don't think Rittenhouse is nearly the caliber of quarterback to be able to move the ball on NDSU with any regularity. And if they do, one, that'll improve my opinion of Illinois State. But number 2, that will really raise my eyebrows about NDSU after what they've played so far.
As much as we just got done saying that they should win this and probably will win this handily, this is the toughest game they've played by far too, which is wild to say.
Yes. And I mean, looking at their schedule ahead of time, USD didn't hold up their end of the bargain, but that was supposed to be their first big game, and it's not proving to be.
No, they're supposed to have this 3-game gauntlet here, and it's going to go easy game, so-so game, and then finally a real game of that.
Right.
Was supposed to be a 3-game gauntlet.
Yep. And it will be, it is going to be the Southern Illinois game. I think that's the one I'm really looking forward to seeing. That's the one that I'm going to be really excited about. I'm going to be interested in the line in that game and everything. It's going to be a fun one. But beyond that, we have our last game of the show to pick.
Before we get to that, Ben also picked NDSU, so we're clean sweep there.
Right. Yeah. Oh, sorry, my bad. I keep forgetting to say Ben's picks. He's not here. It's like he doesn't count. Right. But his picks still do, by God. He's not going to squeak off and try to win by win percentage. We made him pick before he left. So last definitely not least, we've got SDSU at Youngstown State. SDSU favored by 13.5 going into the number 25 team in the redshirtsports.com poll. Is your number 2, but number 1 in your hearts, South Dakota State Jackrabbits. I talked about this plenty on the B team on what I think needs to happen and how it needs to go. So you've got the floor, Alex. Carte blanche, do what you will.
Yeah, I think not going to add anything new, but the key to this one's going to be slowing down Bo Brungard. Their offense, whether it's on the ground or through the air, really moves through him. I think we got the guys to do it. Offensively, I like Youngstown's front seven a lot. I could see us having some troubles moving the ball. I sent this to the group chat earlier this week. We were talking about the run game and this and that and how it's just been okay. And I said, it kind of, ironically enough, with Eidsmith being the coordinator, right, it reminds me a lot of the 2016 offense. And it's just so weird to say after the last 5 years, but it's almost now like we need to run the ball enough so that we don't just get 2 high looks the entire game, so we can throw the ball against some single high safety looks, which is just wild after the last 5-6 years. But we're playing to our strengths, like we talked about at the start of the year with Coach E. And with that said, Youngstown secondary has been very porous. They've really struggled in their coverages. I think I hope Lofton Negroski's healthy, and I hope he's good to go. But whether he is or not, I think last week, even though it was Mercyhurst showed, we've got Alex Bollock's ready to step up. Isaiah Garcia Castaneda is ready to step up. Graham Goring is totally capable of being wide receiver number 1 in a pinch if he has to be. And I think Chase Mason has another career day, 2 in a row here for him. And I think the Jacks cover. Model has good guys by 18. It's also going to say they cover.
Yeah, I'm torn because in a game like this with a ranked opponent, I hate picking us, especially as 2-score favorites. But my head says when I look at this game, we've been arguably a better passing team than we have been a run team. They're horrific against the pass. I really have a lot of faith in our defense. Not to give up a ton of points and to get off the field, especially, with the Montana State game. I mean, Lamson liked to run, and yeah, he hurt us with his legs, but we didn't give up a ton of points either. And the offense has really started clicking. Michael Metzer says he's a Youngstown State fan who chimed in, said go Gwins earlier. I said YSU will need to play flawlessly in all 3 phases to have a chance. I will take SDSU 31-17. Hopefully I'm wrong and YSU can pull the upset. Yeah, I'm kind of more along the lines of maybe Seth Meyer 27-10 ish.
That feels right.
Feels kind of right. I really think there's been a lot of confidence gained but with Chase and Graham Goring and Alex Bollock. I think that the running backs especially have been adjusting to this offense and where their reads need to be and where to hit the gaps and the seams are and get the most yards out of a play. I think that continues. And to be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if we go a little light on the run game anyways, just with injuries and how thin we are currently in the running back room. So
yeah, we got, unless I'm missing any true freshmen other than Blair and Basinger, we have 3 guys. So James Basinger sure is 100% getting burned this week, and it's just a necessity. I don't know how serious Corey Blair's injury is, if he could be back this week or not, but Begeman's down now too, so it's thin.
Yeah. It's just crazy, just how that position's gone. Scrolling through quick through the roster here to get to halfbacks because you can sort that by position group, which is nice. RB, yeah, we got Loffridge, Begeman, Blair Jr., Basinger, Josiah Johnson,
Quentin Renfro. Josiah. So Josiah will dress. I would not expect to see him. I bet we see
Josh Myers.
And I forgot about Myers too. I think we probably see Johnson and Renfro dressed. I think we probably see a lot of lot of Juice and Basinger and some Renfro in the mix.
Yep. So, all that being said, I am going to go ahead and I feel like there's going to be a thunderclap after I say this. I'm going to take the Jacks to cover in this game. It's not going to be comfortably. I think I'm going to be sweating the whole time. Youngstown State, it's a long road trip. It is a test. It's a big test, for this team. It's your first conference road game. It's the longest road game in the conference. It's not going to be the same atmosphere as Montana State. How locked in.
I think having that Montana State game ahead of time helps a lot. I think the boys will be ready.
Yeah. And I should say, I should preface that with saying I expect them to be ready for this. But it is a test, that's just the reality of it. It's different than what you've been playing in. It's not going to be 19,000 screaming fans. It'll probably be 13,000 screaming at you, which is not nothing. It's better than going to Indiana State and you have to make your own atmosphere. But it is different. I've said over and over again, I love that stadium. It's super cool after seeing it in person. But I'm going to go ahead and take the Jacks to cover. Should be a fun Saturday. Really excited to see how the boys do. If the offense really clicks and fires and has a big game, well, that probably turns some heads for the whole country. I'm not 100% sold that happens yet to that level, but looking forward to this game quite a bit. Chad says the Podfather posted the depth chart on Twitter. So anybody wants to look, go to at Jack Illustrated for the Jackrabbit Illustrated Twitter account.
Depth chart or the red shirt snaps Chad's talking about?
I don't know. He specifically says depth chart. So I'm looking here because I have, he literally 29 minutes ago while the show was going, he posted the depth chart. So let's go through that really quick just for fun. At running back, we've got Loffridge and Bassinger.
Which we only normally list too. I was gonna add to that. Do we maybe see Marble? Marble looked a little sporty on some read option stuff they ran in garage time Saturday. Do we see a Chase Mason package, but with Luke Marble, if nothing else, to help with some carries, getting some load off Juice and Basinger a little bit? Never say never. It would shock me, but never say never, I guess.
I wouldn't do that personally. You've got Chase and kind of Luke Marble. Those are your and Marble still developing. I don't know if you want to, especially with the athleticism of Chase. I don't think Marble's not sporty enough to make it worth it the way it was worth it to bring in Chase when Mark was quarterback. Opinion.
True. And Dan did hint at this week on the coaches show a little bit. He said, we haven't really been calling the design runs for Chase yet, but it's coming. So maybe that means this week. Maybe they're saving it for the marker game. I assume they were saving it for the marker game. We
pulled it in the marker game before. I think that's gamemanship this week to be, we might. Who knows? Ooh, better prepare for it. We don't know.
Well, and do you remember Hobo Day last year?
Yeah.
Chase ran for almost like 150 yards against them.
He ran for a lot of yards. So maybe they are, they might unleash it, it gives the team more to prepare for instead of try to surprise them, it's going to be a fun one to watch. It's a good first conference test to open up conference play, and I'm excited for it. Beyond that, thank you. We always appreciate everyone who watches us, whether you're joining us live, whether you're watching us, in the days leading up to the game, you listen to us on podcast form, whatever. We hugely appreciate it. If you can, give us a like, give us a subscribe, follow, whatever it is. Leave us a review on podcasts or YouTube or Facebook or whatever. Those things are always great for us and boosting the podcast so more people can be a part of the whole Jackrabbit Illustrated experience, whatever you may think that is. Hopefully it's good. But beyond that, that's pretty much my closing remarks. You got anything special?
Nope. Looking forward to it. Gonna be a good game. Gonna enjoy watching it at home because my wife's gonna be working at Cubby, so I won't be able to go.
will shoot.
So if you have the hot waitress, tip well.
There, yeah, you best tip her well. There you go. And I guess one last thing, the very, very last thing, since I'm Midwest and buying the shit out of the end of this podcast. We've had Brian Williams on here a bunch, one of our former Lemon Top Challenge representatives for South Dakota State, who we really pushed to have win. Unfortunately, the money was spread across 3 guys.
Three ways that you're still almost won
too. Right. But as of right now, Chase Mason is way behind.
Fourth. We're fourth.
USD is dumping serious money into it, and I'll be damned if we lose to them. But on top of that, we've got Montana State ahead of us. And just really quick to share the standings, I'm going to pull that up just so everybody can see really quick. This is not a Northwestern Mutual sponsored show, but if you look here, we've got Aiden Bauman in first. He's got $6,500. Chase Mason, we are bang, second place immediately. So either Chad put some pudding shop money in, or something happened. He just got about $1,600.
I wonder if never mind.
About 4 hours ago,
it was Chad's pudding shop money.
Pudding shop money got in there, so that's a win. And then got some FCS donations. Obviously, we got Jim Pop in there with the $250. So yeah, we're chugging along. It's nothing to be dismayed about or discouraged about, but let's go ahead and rock through and blow these guys out of the water again. It's kind of fun. I think there's gonna be some more competition this year. Tell a friend, tell an enemy. I don't care. We're fighting the worst kind of cancer, in my opinion. It's one that affects children. That's the worst type of cancer there is. Cancer's awful. It's even worse when it's a kid. So this is a phenomenal cause. It's going to be a lot of fun. We actually have some fan bases to oppose us that seem to be bought in now. So that's exciting.
Yeah, it seems like it's going to be closer than it has in years past, which is, as Seth said, that's if we raise our new goal and we still get beat, that is a net positive, 100%.
Yes. If we get beat, that's a positive. But let's re-up what we did last year with Mark was $29,000. Let's up that. That would be phenomenal. But yeah, we're gonna have some real competition this year, so we're gonna push it. And yeah, like Seth Meyer says, honestly, if we raise more money than before and someone else wins, that's still a good thing. And that's a fact, because it's all money to go beat childhood cancer. And that's what we're out for. Unless you're for childhood cancer, as I like to say, if you're for childhood cancer, by all means, don't donate. You love sick and dying kids. That's your prerogative. I'm not guilting you. It's just your life choice. And if you don't have money to donate, I get it. Things are tight, whatever. I totally get it. I'm teasing. You shouldn't feel bad about that, but you can still help. There is the Lemon Top Challenge. You take pictures with a lemon on your head. Our boy Jim Poppin is the standard for that. But you're going to tag Northwestern Mutual. You're going to tag FCS Nation Radio, Alex's Lemonade Stand, and then you're going to do hashtag Chase the Cure. CHASE, capital T, then lowercase HE, capital C, lowercase URE. Chase the Cure. Chase is the one with the coolest hashtag. The rest of them are just their school's hashtag, but Chase gets Chase the Cure because, let's be honest, that's badass. So you can still help. If you don't have a dime to your name, we've all got social media accounts. Post one to every account, post a whole bunch of those photos. You just got to have a lemon balancing on your head. It's not terribly hard. I'm not the most coordinated guy. I managed to pull it off, put a hat on your head. It'll help. Go ahead and post those pictures. You can raise a ton of money that way. We can raise thousands of dollars just through that. Last year, some of the next biggest schools with money raised were the ones that had just huge Lemon Top Challenge numbers. So it's something we can all absolutely do. Just that picture is worth $10 from Northwestern Mutual. So cannot emphasize enough how important that is to do to help the cause and help Chase win this thing and help beat childhood cancer. So with that, we're going to wrap it up. We're going to do it the old traditional way, except I'll probably lead it off because Alex is busy. So we'll see. Go big.
A certain individual back. Sorry.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. Okay. Fair enough. All right. Go big. Go blue. Go Jacks.
Go Jacks.